Hello everyone, happy Easter. I just got back from playing timpani, improvising timpani over some choral and organ scores for some Easter masses. And as they say on Monty Python, now for something completely different. Just wanted to dedicate this video to one of my viewers, whose name is Joey Mormann. And Joey reminded me recently, one of my more popular videos is the bowing Cymbals and Crotales video. A lot of people like that video, and he reminded me by commenting on a video recently that you can also get a different sound effect out of cymbals, and I have done this before, the pointing the drumstick against the cymbal while turning it effect, sometimes referred to as the cymbal shriek, sometimes referred to as the cymbal scream, sometimes referred to as nails on a chalkboard. Various people have different names for it. So anyway, I have an assortment of cymbals here. I've got, and I'll tap each one so that you can hear it. So here's a pasty 20-inch hand-hammered ride cymbal. Very dry sound. Zildjian A Custom 15-inch fast crash cymbal. Sabian AAX 20-inch stage ride. A Zildjian Cast 18-inch China low. Mystery cymbal, and I actually don't know anything about it. I found it at a garage sale, and it's not even made out of bronze. I'm not sure what it's made out of. Some sort of an alloy blend. 17 inches in diameter. Dave Weckl Series Sabian HHX hand-hammered Evolution 10-inch splash cymbal. A Zildjian ultra-thin hand-hammered crash cymbal hanging from a gooseneck. And a broken, you may be able to see that this cymbal is broken here. A Sabian AA orchestral 20-inch orchestral suspended cymbal, which is broken, and there's a reason for that. We're going to come to it. And I have a variety of different sticks here. I have a Vic Firth Tom Angst Coremaster stick, very thick tip with a very flat head. I have a Premier Jim Kilpatrick Highland snare drumming stick. I have a timbali beater. I have a Vic Firth Signature Series stick with a barrel head, so it has a fairly flat head to it. I have a Vic Firth 7A with an acorn head, so it has a thin tip to it. I have a nylon tip stick. I have a dowel. I have a Latin Percussion torpedo scraper. I have a thick Grover triangle beater, and I have a thin Grover triangle beater. Before you freak out about the triangle beaters, don't worry, I'm not going to harm any cymbals that are, that should not be harmed today. That's kind of where the broken cymbal comes in. So, let's get some different sounds here. Let's start with a very conventional stick, a Vic Firth Signature Series stick with the Sabian AAX 20-inch stage ride cymbal. And what I'm going to do is, you'll notice that if I angle it like this, I'm not going to get any results. You have to actually point it straight into the cymbal. To get the result that you want. And we'll use the timbali beater. You can also use the back end of a snare stick, but you can see that you get a bit of a different result with that. Let's try the acorn tip 70 Vic Firth stick against the China cymbal. Very different effect with that. Let's try our industrial cymbal with the same stick. Very, very primitive industrial sound we're getting out of that one. Now, here's an interesting one. I was trying this one earlier today because I wanted to see if a cymbal this small would even work. And it does, but in a fairly unique way. You just get a really pure fundamental out of it. Out of the small splash cymbal, the hand-hammered one. And that's kind of ironic because they have actually scorched the dome of the cymbal and they've hand-hammered it so that you don't get much fundamental. When you play it normally, you get a real spread of overtones, but I am getting a really pure fundamental sound out of that one. Let's try our pasty, our really, really dry ride cymbal here, and let's use a big thick Coremaster stick for this one and see what we get. We're not getting much out of that, so this is a good experiment. We're going to move on. We'll try the Highline drumming stick. I'm getting two pitches out of that, a really low one and a really high one. It's kind of mixed back and forth in between. If I were to use a thinner tip stick, I might have more control over what I'm getting out of the cymbal. So this is obviously the kind of special effect that you can use if you're doing a really eerie modern piece of music or some aleatoric music with a certain elements of improvisation to it. Let's try using a dowel now on the same cymbal and see what we get. We're not really getting anything out of that. Let's try the dowel on the 15-inch fast scratch. That was kind of nice how I got that different tone at the end, the lower tone, and then it bowed down. See if I can control that. Yeah, so I'm getting a really high squeak and then a lower fundamental that bows down after. That's a pretty cool effect. So might want to write for something like that. Who knows? I mean, I know composers love doing stuff like this. Let's try the nylon tip on the 15-inch cymbal. Not really getting much results out of that. Let's try it on the orchestral suspended. So I am getting kind of a bizarre result out of that. It's pretty quiet. You might want to mic it if you wanted it to come across more clearly. Let's try the barrel head Vic Firth Weckl stick. Yeah, so it seems that our experiment has yielded to us that wood tip sticks work a little bit better for this. Let's try a narrower tip stick. You'll notice that with the barrel stick I was getting I was almost able to sustain the sound continuously. Similar sound out of the Sabian orchestral suspended cymbal, the broken one with the tip of the stick, but a little bit more overtones I'm getting out of that one. I'm not sure if you can hear that quality in the recording. Finally, let's try our ultra thin one here. So obviously, if it's hanging from a gooseneck, it's not going to be quite as stable to work with as it is if it's hanging on a stand. I have just about exhausted my supply of stands that I have in my house for doing this, which is why I wanted to experiment with the gooseneck. So yeah, if you're using a gooseneck, maybe just shorter runs with the stick, and then you'll get a nice sort of slow decay of the sound afterwards. We haven't tried any of the metals yet. Now with metals, I really only want to use those on a cymbal that I'm okay with damaging, and the only one I'm okay with potentially damaging is that broken Sabian orchestral suspended 20-inch diameter one that I have here. So let's start with the thick triangle beater. I'm not really getting any results out of that at all. Let's try the thin triangle beater. Yeah, maybe it depends on... Yeah, if I do it closer to the crown... There we go. Sort of sporadically comes in and out, and then if we try the... this might yield some really interesting results. The torpedo scraper. Notice that as I change the angle of it from perpendicular to slightly on an angle. I'm getting a mix between some scraping sounds and some sounds of the thin little metal dowels sort of vibrating around and bouncing around on the cymbals. So that's kind of an interesting effect as well. Anyway, there we have it. Bunch of different scary movie effects that you can do. With drumsticks, triangle beaters, scrapers, and cymbals. By the way, we're not going to do any cymbal scraping today. I already have another video, a suspended cymbal video that touches on scraping. That's the mallet choices and playing zones video you can find on my channel under classical instructional. So if you go look for that, and I'll try to remember to post it underneath the video in the information section. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed watching this video all about how to make some pretty crazy sounds, which are only appropriate in very certain circumstances. Take care. Happy Easter.